Hi everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be trying to draw on glass for the first time, and I'll be using this piece of glass that I took out of a picture frame. And a friend recently showed me some awesome window artwork created with Posca Paint Pens, and I immediately added this to the list of projects I wanted to work on. It just seems so interesting to try, and for over a year now I've been pushing myself to explore different art techniques, and to try different art supplies, and to also try different surfaces, and the Posca pens have been amazing for that, giving me so many opportunities to try all these different surfaces and trying to get out of my comfort zone. It's been so fun, and I just loved the idea of trying to draw on glass. I measured this piece of glass and cut a piece of paper exactly the same size. And my idea was to sketch the layout of this drawing on the piece of paper, and then place the glass on top, so I have some guidelines when I'm using the Posca pens. As you can see, I decided to work on a drawing of Totoro. I'm a big fan of Studio Ghibli, and the films are always a great source of inspiration, and it's been quite a long time since I last worked on any fan art of one of the characters, so this seems like a really fun opportunity to try this drawing on glass. If you've watched any of my videos before, you might notice that in this video I finally improved my lighting. It took me long enough. I recently spent some time researching the best options that would work with my current studio setup, and I ended up getting a couple of LED light panels, and I'm so happy with them. Hopefully it's improved the video quality. So far it's really helped me with my workflow. It just feels a bit more professional, and it's freed up a lot more desk space because I had some lamps before and it got really cramped on the desk when I was working on a drawing. So having all this space, it just feels so much more freeing, and I feel like I've got a lot more area to work with. So while working on the sketch, I was thinking about the different layers I wanted to add, having Totoro placed at the centre and then surrounding him with nature. And I loved the idea of having a foreground and a background, literally having them on separate layers, so making use of the front and the back of the glass. So when I finish working on the details on the front, I can flip the glass over and then add a background, and I was hoping that this would give a little bit of a 3D effect. With the sketch completed, I placed the glass on top and I taped it to the paper. And I also made sure to wash the glass before this, just in case it had any chemicals or oils that would react with the pens. And so with everything ready, it was time to start working on the glass. And this is definitely outside my comfort zone, so it took me a while to actually, finally begin the process, but the first step is always the hardest, and once I started adding the grey tones to Totoro, the process started rolling, and I really enjoyed it. With Totoro being the main feature of this project, I wanted to make sure I took my time, and I added the details as accurately as possible. I often like to work on the difficult stages of a drawing first, so that I then have the comfort of knowing it's smooth sailing from that point onwards. Using the Poscas on the glass was such a satisfying process. It's such a smooth surface, and the pens just glide. Before starting this, I was actually worried that the pens might start scratching or marking the surface of the glass in some way, but that definitely wasn't the case. They worked perfectly. And it's totally different from what I'm used to in comparison to the different textures of paper. I find so much inspiration to create when I spend time appreciating nature. It has always helped me, and at the moment all the cherry blossom is in bloom and it's putting on an incredible display, so I've been outside making sure to capture that. And also, I recently had the chance to visit one of my favourite nature parks. I spent the afternoon taking photos, and those photos ended up helping me a lot with this project. I used them as references for the flowers and the trees that surround Totoro. With all of the foreground details added to the front of the glass, it was time for me to flip the glass over and work on the background. And I took the time beforehand to flip the background details of my original sketch horizontally, so the background will appear exactly how I planned it when looking at the drawing from the front. And this part wasn't too difficult. I just needed to add blocks of paint, choosing colours that would hopefully complement the foreground. And you'll also notice that I used washi tape to keep nice sharp lines in the area where I placed the sky and the clouds. After that, it was time for the big reveal. Let's flip this glass over and see how it looks with the background. I'm so happy with how this turned out. This project was incredibly fun, and I loved the whole process of using these pens on this very different and interesting surface that gave me the opportunity to separate the foreground and the background layers in a way that I've never done before, creating that 3D effect. And I genuinely really want to try more drawings on glass now. I tried putting the glass back in its picture frame that I got it from, and it hides the edges a tiny bit, but overall I'm extremely happy with how it looks. The grey tone of the frame matches Totoro, which I didn't intend for that to happen, it was just an awesome surprise. So be sure to let me know what you think of the end result, and also let me know if you have any suggestions for future art projects I could try. Your suggestions are so helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, then feel free to subscribe to this channel, and any likes or shares on this video are hugely appreciated. If you want to follow and support my art progress, then be sure to check out the links in the description for my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Patreon. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing okay, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all soon.